Hello everyone and welcome to this kind of special version of Young with RAM. A lot of you wondered back in Monday why there was no Young with RAM, which is pretty much a solid upload in my channel. Well, the reason is that I knew 1.37 was coming and I was holding my breath and I wanted the next Yam with run to come after the release of 1.37 because of course there were a lot of questions related with the new patch in the past videos and I didn't want to answer with what ifs. Now the patch is out, it's been out for a couple of days and there are a lot of things that patch has brought. Now, it's a little bit hard to explain this in detail without just boring you to death because you don't want to hear someone rambling and ranting about Gaijin and their ways and etc. And also, I'm going to begin by saying that I have some personal problems with them, or at least seems they have problems with me, which I don't really fully understand, but is the way. I'm not going to name every single reason I have to think it's the case. Maybe it's the way they are favoring some guys while ignoring others. Maybe it's the way they are roadblocking every project I start. For instance, the interviews in the Q&A. It's not just that we did an interview that they blocked for no reason. It's that I actually had one of the flight model devs agreeing with coming to the Q&A and answering some questions about how you do a flight model, which are the complications of doing a flight model, that kind of stuff, which is absolutely out of scope of the NDA. But of course, he had to pull out because he said that he didn't expect Gaijin liking it at all. And of course, well, after we saw what happened with the other interview that was blocked, he had a reason to be. I'm sure that if this podcast, the Q&A, was done by someone else, there would be no problem. There would be no blocks because someone else would be doing the questions and someone else would be uploading the videos. That's just one thing. That's one of the many things that makes me really have a, not me, but seems that I'm under the perception that they have a problem with me. And really, that's turning me down. That's really pissing me off. But well, say that. Let's begin with the 1.37 patch. New patch is coming, new levels are coming. Now, the new level system. How I'm going to explain it. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to mix this video I recorded the day of the launch and you be the judge. So for instance, let's say that you are in the Germans and you want to play, well, level 2 lineup in an arcade battle, for instance, just to name an instance. So, well, you choose your planes and let's see what we have. What we have is a 1941 plane, 1940 plane, 1942 plane, 1942 plane, 1943 plane captured, and a 1942 plane. Now, what will you get if you get a similar level to this in Americans, for instance? Well, you get a 1944 plane, 1944 plane, 1944 plane, 1945 plane, 1944 plane. Yeah, it's a 1D. The 1D is a 1944 plane. And 1944 plane. That's how much sense it does. None at all. But of course, it's not the only problem. Imagine you are with the British and you want a Battle of Britain lineup, which is pretty much level 2. Hurricane Mark 2, level 2, 1940, 1940, 1940. That's a 1941 plane, actually. 1940 and 1940. So all 1940 planes, and you will find, for instance, a Resident Evil with a 1941 plane, 1942 plane, 1942 plane, 1942 plane, 1942 plane, 1943 plane. That's just retarded, and I'm not going to even bother discussing about it anymore. So no, it's just. Yeah, well, those are two parts of the video I recorded the other day, and I'm not going to publish because it's just too corrosive. But yeah, you can see where I'm coming from. Um, just the new level system doesn't work. But now we enter a problem, but because the problem is not that the system doesn't work. Because if the system doesn't work, one will wait for them to fix it. The problem is I don't know up to which point they think it's broken because they are the ones who implemented it without an absolute lack of common sense, and that's a problem. Well, that's one of the problems. Because the other problem is that 10 months ago I published a video, no, maybe 9, it was in March, when they did the first Q&A session with the customers. They promised a lot of stuff. They promised this game was moving towards historical feeling, historical matchups of planes that actually fought each other in similar levels. That was the promise. That was one of the many promises they made. And that's just one of the many promises they made. They just not fulfilled, but they are working opposite and away from that idea. Now, before anyone else tells me anything about how wrong or right is the idea of similar gear planes or similar era planes in the same level, I don't care if it makes sense for you or it doesn't. I don't care a single bit. Why don't I care? Because it's something they promised us. It's something I really was looking forward to, and they promised us, and they are not delivering. And when someone does that, he's lying to me, and I have a huge problem with liars, especially with liars whom I'm expected to give my money to, which of course I'm not going to anymore. I have a huge problem with that. First of all, I stopped paying them. No big deal, because War Thunder is a free-to-play game. But I lose all my confidence in them. I don't expect them to do anything right anymore, because they promised me something that they are not delivering. Not just me, I mean, they promised that to the whole community. Now let's go into the thing itself. Planes of the same era in the similar level. Well, you would say there will be planes that will be better than others if they are leveled by historical accuracy. Well, yes, yes, there will be. Then you will say everyone will play the most powerful planes, isn't it? Well, no, no, if you do things right. If you add a dynamic modifier that this decreases the rewards for a plane based on how much used it is and how much success it has at this level, this would happen. Why? Because let's say you have a level 2, a mega super powerful plane and a crappy plane. The mega super powerful plane is used by everyone and is super powerful for its level. But it has 90% reduction on the benefits you reap with it. So you get just 10% of the money and XP you get with a normal plane, if you play that one. The crappy plane has a 300% bonus on the income of XP and money. Now, you will find a huge amount of people flying the less powerful plane, and a huge lot less people flying the more powerful plane. Easy peasy. Balancing zone. And you don't have to put retarded leveling in the game to balance by performance, which doesn't work. Balance by performance is what matches Tigers in World of Tanks versus T-29s, for instance. Because if you balance a Tiger the way it should be balanced, it should go versus Shermans. But if you have to pay a huge amount of money for repairing your Tiger tank if it gets destroyed, and you basically can't earn money with it, how many people are going to play the Tiger? No one. Or very few people. That's the thing. Make powerful planes money sinks and not grinders. make less powerful planes stupendously good grinders. And suddenly people won't abuse the most powerful plane. But not what you are doing now, Gaijin. Not what you are doing now. Especially not if you promised not to do what you are doing. Because you did. Yes, those guys promised to do something very different, and I have a huge problem with people who lie to me. You probably know that. I have spoken a lot of times in this channel about Oleg Maddox, IL-2, and the way I felt betrayed by them. It's reached a point when I feel very close to how I feel about Gaijin. It's very, very, very close. Of course, it doesn't help things as the closed beta stuff that basically destroyed the gameplay of the game for 1 month, with people doing stupid things and stunts to get the achievements, and then to give closed beta access to those who pay $50 for it. Doesn't help at all. I don't feel personally insulted because I did not a single achievement. I wasn't worried by that. I simply quit playing the game because gameplay was reduced to horrid games of people doing stupid stuff, and I couldn't deal with it anymore, so I simply stopped playing the game. I don't have a single of those achievements, not one of them, so I wasn't going to get into the closed beta for ground vehicles. Big deal, I don't care. But I don't think that people who really worked hard every day to get those achievements done, they don't get into the closed beta, and then now everyone who pays $50 can get into there, basically sitting on all the work those people who made the achievements put into the game. That doesn't help at all. Doesn't afflict me personally, again, but is that cool? Now, again, you can make a case that this is a game made for profit and they want to make a profit. Well, $50 for a closed beta access? Are you kidding me? Sorry, no. I understand as any other that a business wants to make money. It makes sense. I mean, you are in a business to earn a living. You are not Mother Teresa of Calcutta. No. You are not you are not an ONG. You are not giving presents to people. You want to make money and earn a living. You want to make a profit. Perfectly fine. Do so with legit ways. To cheat everyone to play like morons for a month doing stupid achievements to get into a closed beta, to then give access only to those that pay $50 or 40 or whatever it is, the packs, I don't know. It's a betrayal. It's taking your customers for fools. It's just another nail in the coffin. And the mere fact that 9 months ago in that Q&A that I made a video about, by the way, is in March. I was very small back then, maybe 300 subscribers, I don't know. But I was so ecstatic about this game and how hot it looked for the future, how amazing it was looking, how bright the future it seemed. And back in March, a lot of things were broken. A lot of things didn't work at all. But still, the game was fun, and just the looking forward to what it would be once everything was done was so exciting. But in due time, you discover that not a single thing they promised is true. Not one. Not a single one of them. They basically lied to us in that Q&A. Or maybe, in the meantime, there has been a change of policy. I don't know. But if you promise something, you have to deliver. If you don't deliver, you are lying to your customers. And again, I highly disrespect developers that lie to their customers. And I stopped judging the product for the future it may have and start doing so by the present it has. And I stopped giving them the benefit of the doubt. Because if you are with a developer group that messes up something and says, okay, I'm sorry, we messed up, we are going to fix it, I'm sorry, but we look forward to do this, and this. And you see that in due time they are delivering what they promise, that they really are trustworthy. you stop caring about things that don't work in the game right now, because in the future you know it will get fixed. But when people like these guys say we are planning to do this, and this, and to work in this direction, and then you see they are doing absolutely nothing in that direction, and not just that, they are working in the opposite direction, then really you look at them with this face of, you think I'm a fool or something? You think I'm going to eat you lying to me and cheating on me? No, no, no. So, so you lose all the faith on them, and you lose the benefit of the doubt. So if you have a group of developers which are really good, you know they are good. You know they are doing a great job. They are working in the right direction. They are really looking forward a very very good future for their game. And in a given patch, they mess something up. They do something completely wrong, and they piss a lot of people off with it. That change, whatever it is. But well, that happens, and in a few hours they come out and say, "Excuse me, we are sorry. This wasn't intended to happen, or we planned it in a whole different way. It's not working like that. We are going to fix it. We are sorry. The world, blah 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 blah." Well, you say, "Okay, they messed up. Everyone can mess up. We are all human. We all can really mess up things. It's in our human nature to do things wrong. But it's okay. Okay, they messed up. No worries. Big deal. They apologized. They fixed it. Let's move forward. Because they are moving forward in the right direction they promised to us months ago. Now, take Gaijin. They lied to us months ago. So basically, whatever they said in the past is non-valid because it's non-valid. They promised a lot of things that they are not coming. And they made a huge mess up with the release of the game. Of this patch, particularly so. Mixed nations in historical battles. They say they were not going to do it because they asked the community basically told them to solve that idea up their storerooms. And they said, okay, we won't do it. Well, they did. They did do it. And some hours later, half a day, maybe one day later, they came out saying, "Oh no, sorry, it was a problem with the server configuration, blah 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 blah, hotfix, and no longer mixed nations." The problem is, I don't trust them. Sorry, I don't. I don't think that was a mistake. I don't think that was a bug. I don't think that was a problem that needed to be hotfixed. I fully think they tried to pull mixed nations up to us, whatever the community thought. And they wanted to see the reaction, because if the community didn't go on flames, do you think that hotfix would have happened? Really, think, day 1.37 is released. Mixed nations in realistic battles. Just a minority says a couple of things about it. Do you think they would have hotfixed it? Really? Because I don't. But the whole community went off flames. The whole historical battle player base went nuts about that change. And suddenly, in a few hours, we have a hotfix. How curious. I don't trust them. I don't trust them. And I'm not going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Because they simply don't have it. They lost it when they lied to me. And one thing I said in 1.37 in the video I made about it, the preview, was I did a very passing comment about it. If this travesty ever makes into life, War Thunder will be history for me. Well, that travesty made into War Thunder Live. They say it was a mistake. They say it was a error. I don't believe them. And even if it was, it made life. War Thunder is history for me. Now, before you go absolutely nuts, it is for now. As I said, the problem with a developer when you lose faith on them is that you start judging the product for what it is, not for what it can be. Now, let's talk about War Thunder, what it is right now. It's a basically flawed game. It has a lot of mechanics which are just introduced as overheating that simply doesn't work. Just go get in the Typhoon and see the plane overheat at 100% without web in 5 minutes. When you could use in real life that combo rating for 30 minutes in a row minimum. Just one instance. There are broken fighters, there are broken flight models, there are broken mechanics, there are broken game modes, there is a lot of broken stuff in that game. Sure, it's technically brilliant. It's graphically it's stunning. It sounds is great. It looks awesome. But for what it is a World War II vintage air combat game. It's simply not up to standard. It simply doesn't offer good gameplay, good enough gameplay for me. Until now, I didn't care because I was looking forward to the moment where it would. But as I have lost totally my confidence in the developer, I don't just for what they can do. I just balance things and I think upon what it is right now. And what it is right now is a game that I'm not going to play anymore. Now, what does this mean for the game, for the channel? Well, of course, it means a lot of different games are going to come up. I'm going to put a lot more of Wargame Metal and Battle. I'm going to put up a lot of, well, I'm hoping to retake finally the European Universalis for Let's Play, which is about time. It's been stopped for 2 months now, or 3. I'm still going to do Fighter Combat School videos, and probably I will use War Thunder footage for that, because you can get into training rooms with people who volunteer for, well, showing some kinds of maneuvers. So don't expect War Thunder content to be over, in the sense that there will be still Fighter Combat School videos. I still have to elaborate on my energy back to basis video. I have to explain proper maneuvering and proper tactics in energy fighter, tank fighters, and boom consumers. How to deal with each one of them in each one of them. So how to deal with a boom consumer in a turn and burner, how to deal with an energy fighter in a boom consumer, etc. And that will take a lot of videos, and that will take a lot of time, and that will take a lot of explanation, and that will help you in War Thunder. So if you look at this channel as a source of information for War Thunder, it still will be, but in a much less intensive way than until now, because where I used to put 1 video per day about War Thunder, Fighter Combat School videos really take a lot of work. Maybe it will be 1 or 2 tops per week. As for gameplay content, it's not going to happen because I'm not going to play this game. It's not good enough for me to play it. And I don't care about the future. When the future is here, if in the future they fix all the broken stuff, I will happily come back. But until then, I simply not bother with this game anymore. So gameplay, well, you can expect gameplay for Wargame Metal Battle. Hopefully I will return to my European Universalis 4 videos. I have discovered a magnificent, funny, and very cool indie game called Star Sector. Probably will upload something about that. If you guys enjoy it, I will upload more. And I don't know, we will see how things will go on. Young with Ron will go on. That's how it will work. Of course, you can still ask me whatever you want about air combat. Air combat videos are going to be a very basic and very fundamental part of this channel. This channel is to educate people and to help them understanding air combat better. For War Thunder mostly. That for me is not good enough anymore doesn't mean that you guys have to quit it. I mean, the game is technically brilliant. If you can get over all that stuff that for me is broken, you will have a lot of fun with it. The problem is that I have the tastes I have. I have the preferences I have. And above all, I have the expectations I have. And I have the expectation of a developer not lying to me, and those guys lied to me. And with all the problems along the road, with Gaijin simply blocking all these kind of, well, the interviews and putting roadblocks on my way and simply. I mean, I'm okay with them ignoring me. Perfectly fine. The problem is when they start trying to stop me. I simply have developed a dislike for them, a personal dislike. So I will give them my money if they earn it, but they have stopped um, having that privilege since this has happened. I will play the game if their game is good enough to play for me, but for me, their game is not good enough to be played anymore. Um, if you ever wonder, guys, why other YouTubers put up videos of dev servers with the new planes, all the new planes, or designing new planes, well, remember that those guys have a press account given by them by Gaijin. Meanwhile, I don't have one. Why don't I have one? Because I speak my mind. Meanwhile, those guys will never say a bad thing about the game or developer. Not one, not a single one. So if you give press accounts to the people who are not critics, but you don't give them to the people who are critics, and I think I have been fairly constructive in my criticism to Gaijin up to this video, because now I'm speaking clearly and I'm not biting my tongue anymore. Up to now, I think I have rarely said anything bad about them. I might have said something critical about them, like I don't think this is right, I don't think this is the right decision, I don't think this is the right tiering, I think that decision is poor, I don't like what this development is looking forward to, that kind of stuff. Broken fighter all around the place, of course, the broken fighter is broken, I don't understand why they don't fix it, etc. But I never said anything bad about them. I was simply critical about the state of the game. Um, Now, after this video, of course, I'm expecting them to utterly hate me if they didn't still. But just for the reason I was critical about the game. I have a critical stance, which is the better one, because actually constructive criticism is what brings development forward. If you don't have anyone telling you what you are doing wrong, you are never going to fix it. I didn't want anyone to tell them what they are doing wrong. They only are interested in people telling them how great their product is. Well, their product is awesome. It's technically incredible. It's amazing, looks amazing, and could be the terminator of all the MMOs based on combat with vehicles for the future generation. They have the potential to make an MMO that will last 10 years, give them huge loads of money, keeping customers happy. Instead, they are choosing to go the way World of Tanks went. Well, it's their choice. I don't support that. I don't play World of Tanks anymore. I'm not going to play War Thunder if they go their roads. So anyway, that's it for this video, guys. Well, this is a difficult moment for me. This is not happy. This is not a happy moment for me. This is not something I'm doing because I'm pissed. I mean, no. This, and people knows it. I have had personal conversation with some people during the last days and during the last months about War Thunder, the direction it was going, all the stuff Gaijin was doing regarding to me, um, uh, and I simply was all the time saying it will reach a point where there's no walking back. They will reach a point when I'm so tired of this shit that I'm going to quit it, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of trying to do a podcast for the benefit of the community and the game, only to have it blocked by the developers. Just one information here, just one tip here, guys. There's one guy who is a community manager, okay, in Gaijin. He's the head of the community managers. When Bismarck and I decided to start the podcast, the Q&A, the first idea we had was to invite someone from Gaijin, because we honestly thought that the best way to start a podcast to be constructive about the game and to bring you guys information and cool things in a podcast would be to have an interview with one of the main guys in Gaijin. So I wrote to him a PM in the forums, um, explaining to him the idea of the podcast in raw terms. It was going to be, well, a podcast about the state of the game, the way it's moving forward, with interviews of different people who contribute to the game, and of course, the bigger contributors to the game are the developers. And I invited him to come to the podcast. Of course, knowing now what happens with people who have an NDA with them, even when they are not part of Gaijin, I would have never dared to do that. But I didn't. I was naive enough to think these guys would really benefit from having a chance to speak about their job in the open. Well, I wrote this message, I sent it to him, and up to this day, to this same day, he has not even read it. He didn't open it at all. He ignored the message. It was entitled Invitation to a Podcast. He didn't even open it. So yeah, that's the degree of cooperation you can expect from them. Meanwhile, they happily attend live streams of other YouTubers. Sounds suspect, isn't it? As I said, it's more than... I'm fine with them ignoring me, but I don't when they simply want to, well, block my way. And that, of course, doesn't help, but well, that's a private thing. But I mean, there's so many things going on in the backstage, guys. You don't know. You have no clue of how many things I have given up just because I wanted to speak my mind. So many things. Really, really great things for me and my channel could have happened if I simply was to put a smile and say this game is great. But I wanted to give a fair opinion, and I paid the price. And now I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the game. I'm tired of the developer. I'm tired of the lies. I'm tired of every shit is going on in this game. So for now, it's over. We'll see in the future. I'm not saying I'm not coming back. I'm too intelligent to burn my bridges this way. If somehow they do another 180-degree turn and they start moving towards what they promised us, then I will come back. In the meantime, this game is over. Well, now we reach the point where I have to give some thank yous, and a big, 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 huge, huge, huge thank you to Glint Eastwood for his donation. He gave me a birthday donation because it was my birthday last Sunday, and well, thank you, mate. Really, really, really appreciate it. We had a very special chat in playing Hearthstone the other day. Really cool guy. Anyway, a couple of things more. Next week, Christmas is coming, so Merry Christmas, everyone. The thing is that during this Christmas, I'm going to be home. I'm going to spend it with my family, and of course, I won't be able to record a lot of stuff. I have some stuff already recorded and ready to upload, so I will do so during this time, but I won't be able to record anything else in the meantime. Meanwhile, well, for next Monday, or maybe for a Christmas special, we will see, I will post a normal Jam with Round with the answers to the questions of last week. Expect some more Wargamer and Battle videos. Expect a little surprise in the form of a new game I discovered recently, which is really, really cool. It's still in alpha stage, but it's an indie game and it's really, really, really nice. I've had a lot of fun playing it, and well, if you guys want to see it, there will be more coming of it. And also remember, gameplay of War Thunder is over, but doesn't mean the Fighter Combat School is over. Probably I will use War Thunder as a tool to explain stuff and air combat maneuvers, etc. I'm not playing the game anymore, but I can use it as a tool to teach you guys how to be better at this game. So the channel focus about teaching people is not going to be over. Yeah, that's going to be mostly it for now, guys. I hope you, well, enjoy this video. Hard to, but whatever. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to leave the video up because, well, this was what is going to happen right now is a very cool defensive fight I had in a very damaged Mustang. You can see both rings are red and the plane didn't want to turn at all. But still, I was able to take a V409 off my 6 and give him a really good fight. So, well, if this is going to be my last War Thunder gameplay for a good while, if it ever is more gameplay, we'll see. At least let it be with a decent fight and a good show of defensive flying. Um, Good to miss it at times, I guess, the old times in War Thunder when I thought everything was fine and things were going to be great. But things not always turn the way you want it to be. So, yeah, well, enjoy watching this fight. I think I did very good, and the pilot of the 109 was a really good pilot as well. So it was a heck of a fight. I had a lot of fun with it. Hope you enjoyed it, and as always, thank you very much for watching, guys, and see you later.